All right, we should be rolling. Let me send everything out before we get started here. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess that's all right. All right, hey, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
All right, well, before we begin this lesson, of course, we want to give all praises, all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rakakadash. All right. Also, we want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that do rule and teach well. And as always, peace, love, many blessings unto the elect. All right. Hey, this is the brother Tazawan.
Nathaniel.
All right. Be coming back to the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai with another lesson. And of course, we do hope and pray that it's edifying. Okay. As you can see, what the title reads, prepare for more detrimental situations to happen here in America. Okay. Quote unquote, the sea boogeyman has pretty much been, placed aside for now by the elite, but they'll revisit that. Okay. A lot of the shutdowns and the different mandates that we were once subject to that's been lifted is actually going to come in a more strict measure. Because remember, the draconian laws is a way of instilling order out of chaos. So what we have to remember is that the enemy works in stages and phases. Okay, he implements certain things as a tool of measurement, and then what he does is after that data is collected, he knows how to reassess the situation to prepare for a more dangerous and detrimental situation that can be more highly effective. Because the greater the crisis, the greater the result. Okay, so if you come with a terrorist attack that impacts millions of people, then you get a greater result. So that is the phases in which we're going through right now, and the Lord is going to continue to turn this thing up on the left hand side. Okay, now we thought that 2020 was something. Well, wait till you really see what the Lord is going to open up next. Okay, we have no idea what the Lord is getting ready to do, but that's why we urging brothers and the rest of the believers to prepare for more detrimental situations, because that will be coming very soon. Okay, so
Yeah, I was gonna say real quick, the elder brother Ariad had just did a video that said that he spoke about how ninjas are going to be revealed in the times to come, roughly paraphrasing the title of the video. But what he was speaking about was that shit is about to hit the fan on a much heavier level than what we had experienced before.
that's right.
And when that happens, what are you gonna do? But anyway, I got this precept, 2 Ezra 16 and 17, that says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days?
This is the prophet Ezra speaking after he received visions by the angel Uriel. And the visions that he received was so pungent and so excruciating that his end result was, well, what was me? How can I get delivered? Keep reading.
Verse 18, it says, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death.
The beginning, not the ending, is the beginning. So we haven't necessarily experienced this yet. We haven't experienced great death. We haven't experienced great famine and great mourning yet. Okay? People are still on their high horse. People are still living it up. People still have the luxury of certain American amenities. Okay? But there's going to come a point in time in which you're not going to be able to bask in these liberties. It's literally going to be turned from a quote unquote first world country to a third world country, which us brothers that's in the know, we already understand that America is a third world country. Okay, it's just the people that's living here is living under an illusion, and they can't see that everything, all the things that America has to offer to the public society is a facade. It holds no weight. So that makes it a third world country. Okay, if you're a stable country, that means that your resources are backed by something. If your resources aren't backed by anything, that's a third world country waiting for a collapse. Okay, keep reading, bro.
It says, the beginning of wars and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come?
Go ahead.
Verse 19, behold, famine and plague, tribulation.
Yeah, so in 2020, when the famine started kicking off with the food shortage, we haven't necessarily felt the fullness of that recoil.
Well, if I could say real quick, what a lot of people don't understand about the shortage of food is that they have food stores. They have food that they have stored up in storage. You see what I'm saying? That gives like a certain, I mean, even vegetables, these devils have learned certain techniques to preserve things for a very long time.
Yeah.
So they can have them in storage. Those stores are almost depleted. And there's nothing to refill them because of the shortages that was happening in 2020 and 2021.
That's right. So there's a surplus of food that's in America to where, let's say there is a shortage, you won't feel that ripple sometimes months to years. So a lot of people have gotten complacent with the abundance of resources, but that's because America controls multiple markets. Okay? But when these markets continually to break down piece by piece, and America is really only able to deal with certain markets, then you'll begin to feel the recoil of the initial scarcity. Okay? And that's what's wrong with America, man. That's why the scriptures say, because victuals shall be so good cheap. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we me and his brother, man, the spirit been having us building. The scriptures say, was not the scriptures, but we wanted to entitle this lesson, Prepare for More Detrimental Situations. Okay? Because that's what's coming, brothers. And we see right now that the Lord got a lot of us in a gauntlet. He got a lot of us in very strenuous situations. He's trying our faith but it's for a bigger purpose. Because when these heavier situations come, we have to think upon and remember the times in which we were low that the Lord delivered us out of. Okay? Let's keep reading, bro.
This is verse 19. It says, I'm going to start from the top. It says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for an amendment. Verse 20, but for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness.
So Jake is not looking at the sea boogeyman as a scourge for amendment. They're not looking at the dilapidation of the American society as a scourge for amendment. They're not looking at the high employment rate and the devaluing of the dollar as a scourge of amendment. They're not looking at none of your liberties being taken away through policy under Sleepy Joe as a scourge for amendment. The same rights in which we had in 2019 were taken away in 2020 and 2021. You don't have the same rights. Your rights have changed through Satan deliberating on their legislative table. But that's not considered as a scourge for amendment to Jake. So what the Lord is going to do is he's going to up the score. He's going to up the volume of calamities. Okay? And we're about to start to see a massive amount of very detrimental situations overcoming the world, from volcano eruptions to earthquakes to terrorist attacks, cyber terror attacks, security breaches, false flags, the devaluation of the economy. Okay, and what's some more?
Inflation,
food, famine.
Yeah, well, the thing is that one of the biggest things that Esau is working on is inflation and hyperinflation, as it goes into Habakkuk the 2nd chapter, where it says, "Woe to him," where it talks about that thick clay, which is debt, and we live in what we call a debt-based society. So when you couple the 7% inflation rate that we have right now, that's increasingly going up, on top of high-ass petroleum prices, on top of a food crisis, what do you think you have? You have It's a formula for disaster.
Yes, it's chaos gonna equal chaos.
Exactly. And what was it? Who was it that wrote to say, "Give me control over the food, and I can control a nation"?
That was Henry Ford.
Exactly. So they have control over the food, so they can control the nation based off of that. And what they want is chaos. They want a reason. We were talking about earlier how the brother, when he did his introduction, we were talking about how things are going to increase. Well, that's called problem action solution.
Yeah.
They create the problem, right? Then we react to it, and then they come with the solution.
And that's the term that they use for that particular formula is called the Hegelian dialectic. But you got it. You can keep.
Oh yeah. And they call it like as the brother was saying, the Hegelian dialectic. And as he beautifully had mentioned before, how they'll come like when they came with the sea monster, right?
Yeah.
They came with that, and then they took a step back, distracted everybody from what's going on in Ukraine right now.
Protocol.
And they're gonna come back because what they did was they gathered all of that data to see how they can respond later on in the future. You see what I'm saying? To see how they can put the squeeze on us even more.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
So this is all a gauging method that the elite are using to put continual pressure on a society. Mm-hmm. You got to remember, the greatest pressure is a slow and steady pressure rather than a quick pressure. Mm-hmm. Okay? I would rather somebody punch me in the face than to have somebody actually press my face into the dirt.
And then slowly but surely more and more pressure is added as they press down.
Mm-hmm. You would rather somebody just give you instant pressure. But see, Esau understands how to oppress a society. Mm-hmm. Remember, oppression, meaning outward, press meaning pressure. They press you from the outside. We're oppressed, we're suppressed, and we're depressed all at the same time by this system. So we have to understand the methods and the different arrangement of scenarios that they're using to wear the society down. Mm-hmm. They're constantly shaving down the society, and people are dealing with high levels of anxiety. Mm-hmm. And that makes it easier for the elite to impose their agenda because you're getting tired of the constant pressure. When you look into different slave tactics and torture devices that they use, the most effective ones were slow and steady pressurized devices, mm-hmm. because it would make you tap opposed to a quick prick. You're going to take that, but a slow and a steady grind, if you don't have the mental fortitude to deal, you tap. And that's what Esau is doing on the left-hand side, okay? I got a quick one. You could break it down. This is Ecclesiasticus 19 and 29. It says, fire and hail, famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Mm-hmm. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction.
Well, that's pretty self-explanatory because you have all of these Jakes, these 2/3, and the heathen that, we're specifically talking about the 2/3 of our people that don't want to get right. So the Lord has created all of these things, even the wicked, for the day of wrath, to put pressure amongst Jake. You know what I'm saying? Because Jake don't want to get right. This is why this is such a long, agonizing process. It's not quick, because the Lord is the master torturer, man. He's the master torturer. So this is a slow and steady type of torture, So then what you have famine, and you have a lot of people starving right now, and that number is just going to increase, right? You got the sword. You got people getting killed by the sword right now, and that number is just going to increase.
That's right.
What do you think is going to happen when this war with Ukraine and all this stuff really starts to collect momentum? You honestly think that it's not going to have an effect here? Well, of course it is. They're still look, I'm going to put it to you like this. America don't get none of its oil from Russia. Mm-hmm. None of it.
None.
So why are gas prices so high? Because they're using this as an excuse to put the squeeze on your ass.
Absolutely, man. Because they need to do what? They need to cut funding in order to finance the war.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're doing, because the countries that they used to have under the petrodollar is now coinciding with Russia. So the value of the dollar does not have the same power, because the purchaser has found a better deal.
Mm-hmm.
So now they must charge the consumer, which is you. Okay?
Yeah, they're using now the Chinese the Chinese yuan?
Yeah, the Chinese yuan. Yep.
And they're using that for trade.
Yep.
As far as oil, Saudi Arabia is considering ditching the dollar as the world reserve currency for trade in oil. The thing about it is, a lot of y'all Jakes don't understand how finance actually works, right? What you don't understand is that the dollar is the world reserve currency based off of oil. It is the petrodollar.
It's not the gold. It's not the gold reserve anymore.
So what happens is, in order for another country to buy oil, they have to exchange their currency for dollars and then purchase the oil. This is what gives the America the world reserve currency status, because everybody needs oil in order to make their economy go around, right? Yeah. So by having that stronghold, America has control over the world. But what's happening is the other countries are saying, well, these niggas are just printing money out of nowhere. Right. They're devaluing our dollars, our money, based off of how they're valuing theirs.
Yep.
So we cannot have that, because our money has more value than that. And what you're doing is you're making more goods and services in our country cost more. Mm-hmm. What do you think is going to happen when all of these countries in the world decide that they don't want to use the dollar anymore? With all of those hundreds of trillions of dollars that they've printed out of nothing, is going to come flooding back into America, trying to redeem itself for anything of value.
Hyperinflation.
That's hyperinflation.
And when you have a hyperinflated currency in your country, it crashes, because you have not convinced an outsider as a buyer. So now you must go to war. And that's why there will be more detrimental situations, because there must be false flags in order for people to buy in to the established economy until they get to the point to where they're ready to take it to war. So you must have crash dummies. Mm-hmm. So let me get this scripture real quick. And Lord willing, this is making sense, to you brothers and sisters. But that's how war works. Okay. Even if you look at it on a more simplified term, okay, you have a group of people and you have enemies over here, right? And this enemy, you have alliances, and the alliances, they come to you to, for purchases. They buy clothes from you, they buy drinks, and they do everything for you because that's your ally. But let's say that the enemy actually gives a better deal to your ally. Mm-hmm. And your ally actually gravitates more to the deal that the enemy gives you. So now your economy has been weakened because they're not buying into your economy, they're buying into another economy. So now, because you've been weakened, you must create an event on your ally to make it seem like the enemy did it, so that they can cut ties from the ally and rejoin back into you, which is a false flag. But if they don't buy into that event that you created to place the blame on your enemy, then you will have to go to war with your enemy. And that's what's happening with America, but it's more complex and it's more on a broader scale. Okay? So, like I said, Lord willing, that made a little bit more sense in a simplified term. But this is 2nd Ezra chapter 15. And I'm going to start at verse 5, and I'm going to read down to verse 9. It says, "Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction." Okay, now in 2017, the Apostle Tahar coined the year of death, destruction, and diligence. And we have seen that up until this day. Okay, now we understand that these years that the Spirit have the Apostle to proclaim has carryover. Mm-hmm. So it's not just for that year. It carries over into the next year and over to the next year up until the appointed time. Okay? So we've seen earthquakes. We've seen President Donald Trump launch Tomahawk missiles on Iran. We've seen the invasion and the killing of Soleimani. All right, we've seen the war that was waged on Syria in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that was some crazy times. What was going on in Syria, man? Not to mention what's going on in Ukraine. Not to mention the gathering of these different nations getting ready for the Armageddon. So we're seeing the development of these different plagues. All right, and it says famine. Oh, let's not get started on famine.
Mm-hmm.
Now this brother's a cook. And he can tell you all too well about different food prices. So we're not just making this stuff up. This famine is going to increase. It's going to get worse. Ribs are going to be more. Steak, they got fucking locks on steak to where you have to actually go to the actual counter and get them to unlock the steak like it's a fucking shirt or something. Okay? So that's going to be a famine of food. It says death and destruction. People are going to die. Close relatives are going to die. Okay? Friends are going to die from the world. Certain brothers are going to lose their life if they're not rooted. Okay? If they're not built up in the spirit, if they're not adhering to the order and the arrangement of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, they're going to lose their life. Okay? The Lord is not playing games. Okay? The Lord is even letting us know, and we're serving the Lord, that he's not even playing games with us.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord ain't coming all smooth and sweet. Hey, how about Shema Shai coming straight and direct with us, man? And not worried about how we feel. You know?
Yeah.
Because the Lord getting ready to bring some shit. Okay? Continuing on. Hey, whenever you want to jump in too, officer. It says, verse 6, for wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled.
Yes. Yes. Man, listen, man. This devil has polluted the air. He's polluted the water. He's polluted the food. He's polluted morality. He's polluted relationships. He's polluted
family.
He's changed genders, times. Everything is just completely out of order in this place, man. What do you think the Lord is going to do? You know, the Lord said he looked down and he seen the sins of the wicked has reached up to the heavens. So you got to do something about that, man. So what you're seeing right now, it's not even the beginning. We were past the beginning. The beginning already happened. Right now, we're in this shit. I was talking to another officer the other day, and we did a video, and he said, man, we're in this. We're seeing it now. We're not. This ain't something that's okay. We're starting the famine. It's starting. No. Man, there's 10 cities in certain. Man, we got 10 cities in Atlanta. There's 10 cities in California. People are losing their homes in groves, man. You know, inflation is really eating away at people right now, man. This shit is going down.
Yeah.
And see, as bad as things are getting, the Lord is still showing mercy upon you to give you an opportunity to still turn back and repent.
Still liberty.
It's still liberty. And you still looking at it trying to make it big in Babylon, in the place where the enemy got his foot in your neck, you know, but we're still seeing the squeeze being placed. Lies are being told to you directly to your face. You go, most of y'all jakes out there voted for Let's Go Brandon. You know what I'm saying? Y'all went out there thinking that he was going to turn everything around, and you in an even worse situation than where you were before.
Yeah.
But you still don't want to turn to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai to fix your problems because it's not somebody standing right in front of you.
Yep.
You know?
That's right, bro.
Since he's not standing right in front of you, you don't want to believe in him. You got more on that?
Yeah, some more, bro. It says, verse 6, 2 Ezra 15 and 6, for wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore, saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more, as touching their wickedness, which they have profanely committed. Okay, and the word profanely means outside the temple. So the wickedness that people are committing is not only as wicked, but it's profanely wicked, meaning it's totally out of the spirit. You had people that was committing iniquity that was inside of the temple, so to speak. Okay, but now the wickedness that we're committing now is a heathenistic iniquity.
Mm-hmm.
It was certain iniquities that we're doing now that we weren't doing as a people. Although we were sinning and transgression, we still had the laws and commandments, and we still held ourselves to a standard, which was it was within the profanity of the temple, but it was still Israelite way of sinning. Now we are totally heathenistic. Okay, that's why it says we have profanely committed. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Meaning the Lord is not going to continue to endure with Jake and all this fucking pride, all this self-glorification on Instagram and Facebook and social media, puffing yourselves up on these platforms to think yourselves to be something when all it takes is for a snap of a button to shut all of that shit down. That's why I believe it's going to be a cyber terrorist attack. If you take the internet away from society, ball game.
That's it. Because everything is based. Look, what are you doing with the internet? Your financial transactions happen over the internet, right? All of your popularity in social media and all that stuff happen over the internet. All of your entertainment happens over the internet. Most of y'all buy y'all visuals off of the internet. Mm-hmm. Everything happens off of the internet. You take that away, you really just cripple the society.
You take it away. And that's what we need. Okay? Well, look, I'm gonna keep it real on camera, man. We want Esau to do it. We with the plans of Esau, the elite plans of Esau, because it's the plans of the Most High. Mm-hmm. So we're not simple concerning prophecy. We understand these things, and we want them to take the internet away. Okay? We want them to take away civil, quote unquote, the illusion of civil liberty, because you don't got no goddamn civil liberties here in America. Your civil liberties are an illusion. Okay?
I got a quick one.
Come on, bro.
This is because we spoke upon this. This is Revelation 17:16. It says, "And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire." Now, when you really get into that, why they're going to hate the whore, well, consider everything that we've been saying. This devil has been going into these other countries, stealing their natural resources and oppressing the people. You've been inflating all of the money. You know what I'm saying? You've been putting the sanctions on other countries. You've been doing all this illmatic stuff. So what do you think is going to happen? You know, as a precept, Isaiah 33, where it says, "Woe to him that's spoiled and has not been spoiled." You know?
Yep.
Woe to him that has
and treacherously.
Yeah, and then treacherously. So right now we're in America is losing its ability to spoil other nations.
Yeah. And
so all of the things that America has done, America is now reaping. That's why I brought this precept out, because the 10 horns are all of the countries that were confederate with America at one time. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to turn against this whore because of all the treachery that this whore has committed against everybody.
Well, it's a video online that shows all the different NATO countries actually not shaking the hand of Vladimir Putin. Mm-hmm. Okay? On purpose. So there's an allegiance and an alliance that America is spending on the world concerning Russia. Okay? But then eventually these nations going to catch on to that shit, man. Mm-hmm. They're going to see, man, that America has been the liar and the deceiver and the bully the whole time. Mm-hmm. See, right now, these nations are used to laying in bed with the whore. It tells you that in the book of Revelations. Okay? Matter of fact, let's get it. Okay? Wine of her fornication. That should be Revelation 18. All right. See, we want to get, and we're going to see if we can find it. Yep, here we go.
The brother brought it out from Virginia Islands.
Virgin Islands. Hey, y'all from Shabbat, bro. Shalom. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Isaiah 33. As a matter of fact, yeah, let's read that real quick, and then I'll jump into that.
Khan, this is Isaiah 33:1. It says, "Woe to thee that spoilest, and thou wast not spoiled, and dealt treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee."
So Esau is dealing treacherously with us as a people.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain of us that felt the recoil of the sea boogeyman. And I feel like, hey, that was all a lie. And our lives was affected behind that.
Mm-hmm.
Certain of our hours got cut. Okay? We couldn't go and get certain provisions that we needed to get due to the shutdowns, the mandates, the restrictions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Not to mention how they treated us during the transatlantic slave trade, how they treated the Native American Indians and the Hispanics during the Spanish conquisition. Okay? How they treated the Negro and the Haitian and the Jamaican man. They dealt treacherously with us when we were trying to deal with them.
Mm-hmm.
We was trying to teach them certain things. We was trying to let them know, hey, the Million Man March.
Mm-hmm.
Judah was like, man, just leave us alone, man. We just want to drink. We just want to drink out the water fountain and go to school, man, and just leave. Like, let's be at peace. Like, what you doing? Chill out. They ain't want to chill. So guess what? The Lord gonna bring it to you, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we have, hey, look, we ain't at the time to be trying to make no truce with no other nations. We have to prepare for more detrimental situations to happen because that's our only way of getting out of here. Mm-hmm. These things must be in order for us to get to the kingdom of heaven. So they got to be what it is, man. Okay? It has to be what the fuck it is, man. Mm-hmm. We'll never get out of this fucking predicament if we don't suffer. We got to go through hell, and we have to understand that as this society is breaking down, it's actually for the betterment of our nation.
Right. We can never be a free people as long as America, is in place. That's why the Lord gonna come back and destroy this place, man. Because once the Lord put an end to America, we're gonna be liberated.
Yep.
We gotta be liberated from this place, man. But see, here's the thing, and this is why a lot of y'all Jake's gonna suffer, because you still trying to make a life in America. You still trying to make a life in Babylon, man.
Right, bro.
You still trying to, you think this place is going to go on for another 10, 50, 20. No, it's not. Right. This place is through. This place is finished. The other nations are already making treaties and alliances that we don't even know about yet.
We have no idea.
And America is left out of this, man.
Yep.
That's why the scriptures say the beast shall hate the whore and burn her with fire.
Because not only is America dealing treacherously with us, as the brother in the Virgin Islands posted, but they're dealing treacherously with these other nations. Remember, the scriptures tells us in Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, that the soul which is in him is not upright in him. Mm-hmm. He heapeth unto himself all nations. He is not satisfied. Okay? So if Esau would do us like that knowingly, he'll do anybody like that. Okay? So we got to prepare for more detrimental situations and shutdowns and, lockdowns and false flags, because that's the nature of this fucking devil. Mm-hmm. We shouldn't expect nothing else, man. We can't keep moving in the spirit that everything is going to be peaches and cream. This society got to get broken down, and we have to be in here to witness this breakdown. That means we have to have a strong spirit. Okay? Now, the officer Nathaniel brought out a good point. Okay, dealing with the beast shall hate the whore. Okay, and a lot of these nations, they're in bed with America, man. Okay, they're making deals with America, especially NATO countries, and there's going to be something that's going to happen to where they're going to get pissed off. Okay, and 9 times out of 10, you piss a nation off by how you deal with their money. So I want to read this scripture, Revelation chapter 18 and verse 3. It says, "For all nations have drunk of the wine of her wrath of fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies." Okay? So there are a lot of different nations that are in bed with America and that's making deals with NATO it's those deals are not being fulfilled. Okay. Then it tells you another one. It speaks about the nations were mad. Let me see if I can find it. If I can't find it, y'all brothers post it in the scriptures. Post it in the chat. It speaks about how the nations were angry. Okay. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, here we go. Revelation 11 and 18.
Yeah, I got it.
You can read it, bro.
This is Revelation 11 and 18, and it says, and the nations were angry, and the wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets.
Yeah, so there's going to come a point in time where the nations are going to be angered at the moves of NATO. Okay? Hey, man, what the fuck, man? And that's why, like the brother said, the beast is going to hate the whore. Because you got to remember, man, all right, America is a whore, according to the Bible. Now imagine you lay in bed with this hoe. This bitch didn't advertise to you like my stuff is good and my bed is clean and comfortable. No worries. I provide this service and I provide that service, right? And you pay your money for the service that she offering, only to find out that she has syphilis, gonorrhea, AIDS, hepatitis, herpes. Right? You find out all of this is happening after you spent your money and after you laid with it. Would that not piss you off? Yes. Because why? Because they have drunken of her wine, of her wrath, of her fornication. So then they're going to see really how this place moves. See, everybody like to say that black people don't like to work. Black people, they sit up there and complain, and y'all ain't over here living in under this oppression. Y'all not seeing what we see in this devil, because they're not directly, they don't make deals with Jake. They don't give us $80 billion to repair black families. They do that to you fucking nations. They come and give y'all $800 trillion fucking dollars and $13 billion to where y'all are laying down in bed with the hoe. Okay? We have seen this devil for really truly who he is. And the rest of you nations haven't seen the disgust that's up under that skirt. So you're going to be mad. And guess what? We ain't going to pity.
Why should we? Why should we? You other nations ain't pity us when he had his foot on our neck. You know, $13 billion in Ukraine when most of these a lot of these Jakes are living in poverty.
Yeah.
You know, you don't even want to throw Jake a little small bone. And the bone that he get, you have it on a goddamn string so you can pull it back anytime you want to, you know? And want to continue to live in a society like that, where every single, you ain't got no rest, you have no secure dwelling place, and you drive into a so-called white neighborhood and they living in these big ass houses.
Gated community.
Yeah. You know, and you live in a damn hood. You go somewhere and you just going to just buy food for your family, and you got somebody looking over your shoulder like you about to steal shit when everything in this country was stolen by you and your people. This whole land was stolen by y'all. How you go into other nations and rob them of their resources and then want to call them the bad guy.
Right.
You know? Y'all, I mean, and then what really boggles my mind, which is a conundrum to me, is how you can be directly oppressed by this devil and yet still defend them. They not all bad, you know.
And still look at us as the supervillain, when we are the ones that's literally oppressed. We are the ones that's suffering under this kingdom. We have to watch ourselves suffer and be belittled as the quote unquote rightful kings of this earth. We get belittled every single day of our lives by our women, by just the way the society is set up.
And this devil can come take your children anytime he wants to.
Yes.
Your children.
Yeah.
And then he'll sit there and say, you're an abusive family.
You're an unfit father.
And then take them to a foster home where they get raped, abused, starved.
When Esau is literally destroying his own. You are the quote unquote the rulers of the current world, and your death rate supersedes your life. You're dying faster than you living, but you're telling somebody that they're unfit. You're not even repopulating your people. Okay? You have literally taken over the seat of rulership over the planet Earth, and you are dying faster than you're living. And you mean to tell me that we're supposed to follow you? That's why Yahweh Shema Shai is going to bring a lot more detrimental situations to this earth, because this society must be dismantled. It must be dismantled. It must be broken down, and it must be brought to naught, which is why we must hold our integrity. We must hold our faith. We must trust and believe in Yahweh Shema Shai and the order in which he's establishing. If you locked in with an Edomite, or if you following Edomite culture and custom and ways, you are highly mistaken. Even a blind man can see that this devil can't be trusted right now. His own fucking people. Esau's own fucking people can see that he's the fucking devil. Okay? His own can see it, man. Which is why the Lord is going to put the spirit on the Russian to blow this mother up. Okay? Let's keep reading in this here. And then if you got a precept, you got it, my brother. Yeah, it's the spirit that got hot. Yeah, man. Yeah, Revelation.
Continuing on, Revelation 11 and 18, it says, and thou, I'm going to just start from the top.
Yeah,
it says, and the nations were angry, and the wrath is come, and the time of the dead that they should be judged.
Yeah, because what does it tell you in the book of John 5 and 28? Get it real quick. Because it says the time of the dead shall be judged. Okay, so let's see what that's talking about here. Okay, because you got to remember, there's going to come a point in time in this whole plot and scheme that the nations are going to get pissed off. They're going to be hot.
I got a precept on that too. This is John 5 and 28. It says, marvel not at this, for the hour is coming in the which all that are in the graves shall hear his voice.
Oh, so that links up with where it says, in the time of the dead that they shall meet, that they shall be judged. Because there's coming a point in time where all of those that are in the grave shall be what?
Should come out that thing.
Go ahead.
Yeah, God. This is it says, marvel not at this, for the hour is coming in the which all that are in the grave shall hear his voice, and shall come forth.
Come forth. So this talking about people that has died, that the Lord is going to actually command them to come forth. Go ahead.
They that have done good unto the resurrection of life.
Yeah, because the Lord is going to raise up the remnant of the elect, and they're going to be received by Yahweh Shema Shai. Go ahead.
Okay. And it says, and they that have done evil unto the resurrection of damnation.
So those that have done evil are going to come out of their graves too and receive the judgment. See, you got to remember, Yahweh Shema Shai ain't going to let a lot of you people get away with a heart attack. He's not going to let a lot of you get away with dying in your sleep and diabetes and a bullet shot to the head quick, and you've been unpleasant to the world and you die a pleasant death. No. We're dealing with the ultimate judge. Now, remember what we're reading. The scripture says that, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead that they should be judged. So the dead, everybody that died before the destruction of America is going to be raised up. The spirit world going to get empty. Everybody going to get raised up. Okay, whether you done good unto the resurrection of life and peace, and whether you've done evil unto the resurrection of damnation. What's the resurrection of damnation?
The missiles. The missiles. Y'all gonna feel that heat.
Let's go.
Now
we cooking, baby.
I got a quick one real quick.
Let's finish that one, then you get that out.
Yeah.
Revelation 18 and it's like 11 and 18. I just wanted to get through it.
So let's go back to that real quick. It's like it.
You good, bro?
This is Revelation 11 and 18. And it says, and that thou shouldst give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldst destroy them which destroy the earth.
That's right. Okay. So the Lord is going to actually reward his servants, the prophets, the brothers that's out there laboring inexcusably. Okay. Brothers that's out there ain't making no fucking excuses. They catching hell, getting ready to get evicted, pains, afflictions, infirmities, all kind of things coming at them, man. And they still faithfully at that line every Saturday. Car problems, job problems, financial problems. Okay? All kind of things coming. And they still out there every week, faithfully. The Lord is going to reward them. That's why some of you brothers that's playing games, stop playing these games, brothers. I'm not going to say a lot of you brothers because I don't know what's going on. But if you playing games with Yahweh Bashim Shai, stop playing these games. Stop, man. Okay? If we going to catch hell, man, let's catch hell the right way, man.
Hey, look, let me tell you something. Scriptures say you must labor until your rest. You're going to continue to catch hell in Esau society, man. And there ain't going to be no time when you're going to catch hell. Even if you just get all the goddamn money Esau got to offer, you still going to be catching hell.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? The hell don't stop. But guess what? The work don't stop either.
Mm-mm.
You know, not until the day the Lord come back and say, hey, man, it is finished.
Yeah.
And then, hey, either you going to, like we just read, either you going to get that damnation or you going to get that crown of glory.
That's right.
You know, you just got to think like, what do you want to put? What do you want to invest in? Do you want to invest into a society that's about to be destroyed?
And then what are you trying to do?
Yeah, kind of.
You trying to get engrafted with a bunch of wicked mother effers?
Mm-hmm.
Man, hell no, man. Lord, man, bro, the Lord never denies our daily bread, man. Yeah. That's one thing I can say 1,000% confidently, and I know this brother can attest. The Lord will never deny you your daily bread.
You just got to believe that He's gonna give it to you, man.
Yeah, Elijah. When you read the book of 2 Kings, the 17th chapter, or somewhere up in there, if I'm not mistaken, Elijah was by himself. He was told to leave, and then he had to go into the wilderness. And the Lord sent him by the brook of I think it was Kison or something like that. He went by the brook, okay, and the Lord fed him twice a day by a raven. And he had to drink. He had the brook to drink from.
Yeah. So
the Lord didn't deny him his daily bread. Even Daniel. Daniel was in the lion's den, and he put the spirit on. He translated Habakkuk to take. Habakkuk was in the kitchen cooking.
Yeah. He was like, Habakkuk was like, hey, how am I get there? He was like, man,
he took him by. He took him by a lock. He said he took him, grabbed him by his locks, and he translated him to Daniel and gave him the food that he was cooking,
and then translated him back.
So man, the Lord is not gonna. Man, we don't need fucking nothing from America. They've taken everything from us. Mm-hmm. Why would we have to try to come up with a bargain towards a nation that has literally pillaged and taken everything away from us? No. Why would you go back into this fucking society that's taking everything from you? Our marbles are in the basket of Yahweh Bashim Shai. That's where we remain. That's where we stay locked in at and pray and hope that the Lord has mercy upon us and has mercy upon our households. Okay? Because this place ain't it. It's not it. We don't want to be here, but we have to be here for the purpose of Yahweh Bashim Shai. Okay? You got something?
Yeah, I got something real quick. This is Obadiah 1, and I'm going to start at verse 6. It says, how were the things of Esau searched out? How were his hidden things sought up? Verse 7, it says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. So basically what the Lord is saying is all these contracts that you made with NATO and all these other nations, man, they about to turn on you, man. They about to turn on you.
That's right.
So y'all people are trying to align yourselves with somebody that's about to get his ass handed to him. You see, this isn't. We're already seeing it.
Yeah.
It's not like you got friends that's questioning America now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is already happening.
The Frexit.
Yeah, the Frexit.
No, they've been talking about that though. The Frexit.
Everybody getting out of this shit, man. China talking about putting sanctions on America.
That's right.
You know, y'all, man. The only people that don't realize what's happening in America is y'all Americans.
And that's why the Lord got to make more detrimental situations, because they don't realize it.
Mm-hmm.
If you go into now, like I tell brothers a lot here in this camp, you know, I'm a specialist of getting physical disciplinarianship from my parents. Okay, so I know the whole science and breakdown of getting your ass beat. Okay,
that belt.
If the belt don't work, what do? You get something more strenuous.
Mm-hmm.
You get something that's more effective, something that's gonna fuck you up. You don't keep using the same tactic. Okay, that's ineffective. You heighten the blow, and because these different plagues and these different things that the Lord has brought on the earth I won't say has been ineffective, but Jake hasn't respected the ass whooping. So the Lord is going to level it up. The Lord is going to bring more things that's going to inconvenience Jake. But like the scriptures say, for all these things, scourges were sent for amendment, but they will not amend their ways. They won't stop. Jake is not going to stop. The only thing that's going to make our people as a nation stop is the missiles.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be the ultimate judgment that's going to make Jake tap out. And they're going to show you how hard and stiff-necked of a people we are, where it takes actual missiles to get us to stop this stupid bullcrap against the Lord. That's a fucking stiff-necked people, bro.
Man.
It take the Lord to put the spirit on the Russians and the Germans to create a weapon that Jake has never felt to get them to stop. You know how hard-headed they got to be? That's like if you beating Jake ass, your son's ass, and you go to an actual special craftsman and say, I need you to make me a special belt because nothing that I do works.
See? That just goes to show you that this is a stiff-necked, dumbass people, man. The scriptures say, my people are sottish children. They have not known me. When you go into that word sottish, it means stupid. You see? You know? Because no matter how much pain is inflicted upon you, man, I'm gonna read this precept of the brother because this goes into the point. The brother from the Virginia Highlands, he put in. He said Isaiah 31:1. It says, "Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay in on Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots, because there are many." And in horsemen, it says, because they are very strong, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek their Lord. Don't you understand that the Lord is the one that put us in this situation? Deuteronomy, the 20th verse of 68, the 20th chapter, the 68th verse said that no man shall buy you, which goes into redeem. Right. There ain't nobody can get it out of the shit but the Lord, man. Right. But you still look to your enemy, the very one that put you in the situation, that got his foot on your neck, that hasn't given you any relief since he came into power. You begging him. I was watching this TikTok today, and I'm still going to do a video on it, where the lady was like, they don't want to give us reparations. Why do you want reparations from a society that's breaking down? Right. Why do you want that? That's supposed to be a long gone argument. If they haven't given it to us now, they'll never give it to us. My thing is that I don't want your damn reparations. Because it ain't gonna be right. You know, hey, Revelation 13:10. He that starting at verse 9, he that have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. That's what we want. That's what we want. You know, why do we want to have your money in your system? We want to have our government and our system, which you subjugated under us.
Yes. We want sovereignty. We want to be sovereign, man. We don't want to have no allegiance and no alliance. We don't want. How in the fuck can we get reparations from an enemy? No, the only reparations in real warfare is blood. There's no peace treaties when you shed the blood of billions of Jakes. You've taken their land, you've taken their resources, you've taken their heritage, you've taken, their freedoms, their peace. There's no paperwork that we can actually put on the table to deliberate about. There must be a trade of physicality.
Mm-hmm.
And we're being spiritual and letting you know, but eventually the Lord is going to get physical with you, Edomites. Okay? We're not sitting down with anybody. Even if that means us losing our life to get this point across. There's no talk. The only talking that we have to do with Edomites is declaring the prophecies concerning you.
Mm-hmm.
Everything outside of that, there is no bargain that Yahweh Bashima Washai has set up for Edomite. Though he sought it carefully with tears, therefore was found no place of repentance. Hebrews 12 and 16. So now that we understand the notion of salvation only being allotted to Israel, we only tell you Edomites what's going to happen to you, man, and what's going to happen to your society and your people. Now we stress Jacob's trouble, but you fucking nations, you nations, you are going to catch hell very soon. It's not only going to be Jake, man.
Mm-hmm.
We stress Jacob's trouble because that's our people, and we have to warn them about what's getting ready to happen. But if Jacob trouble hit, everybody in trouble.
Man, you see, this financial global collapse. That's okay. So the petrodollar is tied to every currency. You cannot remove it without a collapse worldwide. Every nation is going to feel that. Everyone. This is why you have other nations like China and Russia that are trying to tiptoe out of the dollar. But see, America ain't going to allow that. They're going to start a war. They're going to start a war to bring in this new world currency. So everybody's going to feel it. Everybody going to feel the food shortages. Everybody going to feel the collapse of the dollar. Everybody going to feel it. The reason why, and this is me speaking as a man, the reason why the scriptures talk about it being Jacob's trouble is because the whole scriptures is centered around Jacob and Yahushua.
That's right.
You see, but do you think that y'all not going to feel that?
They have to.
You got to.
Because we are the centerpiece of the mission of the Lord. So everybody, if we get fucked up, the world gets fucked up. And that's what this world don't realize, because they've devalued the actual gold of the world through child support, through all the different oppressive, what's the word I'm looking for? The oppressive stances that the world has taken on our people. They don't consider that you gonna fall out behind this shit too, because we are the rightful rulers of the earth.
And this brother from Virginia Highlands on fire, man.
I'll hear it, man. You know what? That's the spirit, bro. I'm about to hear it. Click on some of his precepts. Isaiah 1 and 7. Your country is desolate. Your cities are burned with fire. Your land, strangers devour it in your presence. Look at the land of Israel. It was once a land flowing with milk and honey, and now it's a desolate land that can barely grow trees. Trees are imported in the land of Israel. It looks like an actual desert because the people that are inhabiting the land are not upholding the laws of the Lord. Okay? And they're doing it in our presence. And they've deceived and tricked you into thinking that Africa was your land.
Yeah.
Big black nigga from the west side of Detroit, Michigan, or from the fucking south side of Atlanta, Georgia, talking about Africa. No, we're not from Africa, man. We don't have a connection a spiritual connection with Africa, man. We from Jerusalem.
Mm-hmm.
We from the Holy Land. We from Nazareth, Judea. Okay? That's where we from, man. We ain't from no fucking Africa.
Yeah, you got to understand, like, how our people got into Africa. We were fleeing from Roman persecution. That's how we got there in the first place. But there was a where did we come from before that? But the land was already Hamitic before we got there. It was the land that it was called the land of Ham.
Yep.
You know, so you don't go and then the first thing African culture and all that. You don't know nothing about our history of our people. You still digging into other people's history, calling it our history.
Right. And then and meanwhile, your land is being devoured in your presence, but you have no idea because we've been lied to.
Mm-hmm.
It says, and it is desolate as overthrown by strangers. So strangers that's an offense. That's offensive.
Mm-hmm.
If you know that your lineage goes back to a particular land, and you find out that there are actual enemies in your land destroying it, why are you not offended? You should be offended. That is an offense. See, I like to watch a lot of period pieces. You know, The Last Kingdom, the Vikings. You know, I like to watch a lot of, Braveheart. I like to watch a lot of period pieces to show the actual art of war and what inflamed kingdoms. And a lot of times, what inflamed kingdoms was the invasion of their land, their homeland. If an outsider invaded your homeland and they desecrated certain things that was sacred unto the village or the kingdom, that's the ultimate offense. But we're watching our land get destroyed by heathens, and Jacob's just chilling. That's why the Lord is going to bring a lot more heavy events to rouse up the people. Okay? We'll get a couple more precepts and get ready to close out. Did you have something?
Yeah, I was getting one right now.
Come on. Yeah, we'll get that and we'll probably get ready to wrap it up. The water for you brothers and sisters that posted on the comment board, especially the brother at Virgin Islands, Straight Gate, man. The water, my brother. Hey, y'all about Shema Shabrak, bro. And the brother, this is GMS Shining Light Bob. I'm going to read it real quick. Galatians 4:26. But Jerusalem, which is free, Jerusalem, which is above all, is free, which is the mother of us all, meaning we were birthed out of that region, the Fertile Crescent. That's where human life came from. And Jerusalem actually brought forth an abundance of different resources when we moved into the land of Canaan. Okay, it was a land fat, flowing with milk and honey. Now we're looking at Jerusalem and motherfuckers. You got actual Amalekite, the seed of Amalek in our land right now, while you over here in the slums of fucking Chicago and in the slums of fucking Los Angeles and Memphis and Miami and Atlanta, Birmingham. Okay, you in the slums, oppressed, when the Lord gave your forefathers a land flowing with milk and honey and resources.
It was the glory of all lands.
There's nothing to be proud about, man. That's why we got to humble ourselves before the Lord and pray and ask that Yahweh Bashima Shah restore us so we can get some fucking revenge. Here's the patience and the faith of all saints. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. That should be your patience and your faith. You should endure everything that comes upon you with the patience and faith, knowing that you're going to get your fucking enemies. That's why you got to go through this thing, man. If you really want some payback and you really want to get them, you'll be willing to go through any terrain and any motion in order to get your enemy. That's why it's good to watch period pieces, man. You will see exactly what a warrior goes through to get the enemy. That's your patience and your faith. The satisfaction of getting revenge on your enemy, man. Do you know the things that we will be able to rub in the faces of the other nations when we can finally get them? That's your patience and your faith.
Mm-hmm.
That's your vengeance because you have a righteous vengeance. Okay? Let's go.
Fine. This is Second Ezra's. Let's see. Second Ezra 16 and 16 and 37. It says, "Behold, the plagues draweth nigh, and are not slack." 38. As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth, they are not slack a moment.
Yeah. Okay. Meaning the Lord is not going to slack the judgments that's going to come on the earth. The Lord's going to bring them. 2020 came in with a bang.
Mm-hmm.
And usually the energy of a decade is not felt until the mid of it. Like when you go into the 80s and the 90s, the height of that decade was 95, 96, 85, 86, 75, 76, 77. That's the height of the decade. That's when you actually can really feel the energy of the decade that the Lord is bringing in. Mm-hmm. So the Lord brought in 2020 with a bang. Imagine what the Lord has in store in it. Okay? That was a very profound statement that Yahweh Bashimah made when 2020 came into effect. And that's why the brother is reading it. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Verse 39, it says, "Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side."
On every side. So when 2020 came in, everybody was like, throw away the whole year. Mm-hmm. 2020 is ghetto. You know what I'm saying? 2020 is this. Oh, we hate 2020. Da 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 da. Right? That was the tone and the energy that the Lord set. So imagine as we continue to progress through this decade, what the Lord is going to do. It's going to be detrimental. It's going to be life-altering events. And that's why the Lord is doing these things to us so that we can get acclimated to being uncomfortable because he has to take down this current system. Mm-hmm. Okay? So Lord willing, that was an edifying lesson. We're going to go ahead and close it out, giving all praises, all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. All right, double honors once more to the apostles, elders of Great Millstone. Hey, the water for you brothers, you sisters that tuned in, you brothers that left comments on the comment board, predominantly Virgin Islands, Straight Gates, the water to that brother, man. And Lord willing, we endure to the end. Oh, shalom, special shalom. GMS shining light by. You know, hey, Lord willing, we endure to the end, man, and keep pushing. And may the Lord keep us stable and endure your trials, tribulations. Don't flake, man. Stay strong. Yahweh Shem Shah Brakatham. Shalom.
Yahweh Shem Brakatham. Shalom.
Shalom.